comrade. It's great having you. I'm Bismarck say. I have a lot of motivation message on YouTube. I have the channel. Nothing can stop you. Motivation message. Watch them. Subscribe them to. For me, I'm counting you guys to get more viewers and subscribers. Also have another channel. Your marriage will be state of mind to world. A lot of teachings on dating and coaching and marriage. Watch these teachings on dating and coaching and marriage for me. I have a lot of ebooks. Go to Amazon Kindle. I have a lot of plenty of ebooks. These are some of the books. Building your competitiveness in the crowded planet. $4 to be impossible to have this world without you. $4. Your marriage will be a state of mind to the world. $5. There is something inside you. The world is needed. $4. Leaders of Generation get $5. Go to Amazon and download. Get this book for yourself. I'm counting on you guys. Thank you for your support. You're following me on Facebook, Twitter, all over YouTube, everywhere. Thank you. I know you helped me. I'm not getting the sales of this book. You helped me get it sold. In the next 15 minutes, I'm sharing with you motivation message I'm entitled Competitive Penetrating Knowledge. Competitive penetrating knowledge. Expressively, understand that charting the propitious path of possible life development or charting the appropriate path of positive life requires that you have a bare eye view of propellant burgeoning activities in multitudinous country. In other words, if you want to have propitious path of development, you need to have a broader view of propellant of very vibrant multitudinous activity in a global environment. This engineer your mind with competitive, penetrating, permeating knowledge with that vibrating idea generating capabilities. With they give you the highest level of conscientiousness towards achieving what they ought to achieve consistently over the period. Indeed, you need to have a bare eye view with propelling burgeoning economic activities that will help you to engineer your mind with penetrating knowledge, vibrating ideas. This is a blistering catalytic framework. This is a framework that was targeted in the magnetic you for the fundamental legacy of excellence for building your competitiveness in the midst of this crowded planet. This man called John Dewey, was an American philosopher, psychologist, and education reformer whose permeating ideas were very influential in education and the social reforms. He was one of the most prominent American scholars in the first half of the century. He contributed towards the philosophy of pragmatism. He was the father of functional and psychology. He was a major voice of the progressive educational and liberalism. This man, John Dewey, understood, and we understood that he can contribute towards making the world more complete by expressively and assertively inundating himself, overwhelming himself with permeating and penetrating knowledge over the period, as done by a man called Robert Scholar, American televangelist over the period, who ran the hour of division. He ran the hour of division program for more than 36 years, consistently with that sort of mindset. And these are things we also have to see how we can contribute towards building a knowledge-based economy, how we can contribute towards building a radical knowledge. There's a quote from Harry Ford. Harry Ford, one American automobile magnate, once said that the only real security that a man will have in this world is a reservoir of knowledge, experience, and ability. Indeed, Harry Ford is correct. It's an incontrovertible fact that having a real security tells you to the place of real living, of permeating and penetrating real living, and not just mere existent. When you equip yourself with that competitive, penetrating knowledge at that stage in life, if you have that, equip yourself with that competitive permeating knowledge. When somebody tells you your dream is unachievable, it doesn't mean you have to tell the person that you have permeating and panoramic knowledge or wide knowledge to achieve your dream without that person. So if you have equipped yourself with that competitive penetrating knowledge, when somebody tells you your dream is unachievable, we have to tell the person that you have that panoramic knowledge to achieve your dream without that person. And this attitude, we have to epitomize a person like Peter Drucker, American businessman of the period, who have been one of the fulcrum, who have been pivotal when it comes to production of radical knowledge for the Americans in the global world. Somebody will ask, what are some of the ways? I want to remind you, Bismarck say, I have a lot of motivation message. Go to YouTube, my channel, nothing can stop you. Watch them, subscribe to them. I want to get more viewers and subscribers. Also, when you go to YouTube, I have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind to what a lot of teachings on dating and question and marriage. Watch them and subscribe to them for me. I want more views and subscribers. I have a lot of ebooks at Amazon Kindle and Gumroad. Some of these books I'm not getting the sales. I know you guys help me drive the sales. Building a competitiveness, the credit panel, $4. To be impossible to have this world without you, $4. Your marriage will be a state of mind to what, $5. There is something inside you. The world is in need of $4. Leaders of generation thinkers, $5. Go to Amazon Kindle and Gumroad, get it for yourself. When you look at Dynamos ways, what are some of the ways, Dynamos ways of obtaining competitive penetrating knowledge? What are some of the ways you can obtain competitive penetrating knowledge. Number one, aggressively. Aggressively. You can rebalance aggressively, you can rebalance yourself with explosiveness or radical knowledge. Aggressively. You can rebalance yourself with the explosiveness of radical knowledge through having bare eye view on development plans. You equip yourself with radical knowledge. When you look at a lot of development plans are being implemented from 19th century to 18th century to date in 106 countries. Equip yourself with these developmental policies, the ideas, strategies, approaches over the period to get that ravaging knowledge and radical knowledge you want. Examine productive cities in the world, Bangalore in India, in Indian Silicon Valley, here at Silicon Valley in US, the Fukuoka, the Silicon Valley in Japan, and all those very cities that never sleep, that Oslo, Norway, London, America, New York, and all those Chicago. We look at some of the knowledge and some of the people are being active behind the production of knowledge in these areas and equip yourself with them. So look at these cities, very productive cities in the world, cities that never sleep, London, New York, Chicago, areas like Oslo, people are London, people are Denmark, people places like people like Dubai and all those areas. Equip yourself with the knowledge that prevails in those environments. Also, equip yourself with philosophers. We can examine a lot of philosophers and enlightenment thinkers that have been operating from the 18th century today, that operated from 18th century today. Equip yourself with the enlightenment thinking and philosophies to get that competitive permeating knowledge for yourself. Also, look at extract a lot of knowledge from self-made millionaires and billionaires that have existed from 18th century to date to build yourself with that competitive permeating penetrating knowledge. And also look, examine Nobel laureates in your field of discipline from 18th century to date. How these people over the period, the knowledge they have created, how do you extrapolate them to build yourself up to achieve what they ought to achieve? These are very ginormous areas you can equip yourself with that permeating, penetrating knowledge. You have to emanate by, if you do that, you're emulating a man called Malcolm Timothy Gladwell, who was a Canadian journalist and author, a public speaker over the period, who was most celebrated journalist, who understood what it means to equip yourself with that permeating, penetrating knowledge to achieve what you ought to achieve in the field of journalism. The last thing I want to say, in what ways can we need to reinvent the society with a penetrating radical knowledge? In what way can we reinvent our society, our community, our country with our permeating, penetrating knowledge we have? Number one, contribute towards building a knowledge-based economy. So how do you do that? During holidays, visit homes, impact to them domineering entrepreneurial ideas that operated from 18th century to date, impact to them ideas on how they can help contribute towards dealing with climate change, impact into them some of the very robust developmental policies and plans that have helped shape the world productivity from 18th century to date, give them ideas on these policies, approaches, and strategies that will equip them to implement their personal dreams and ambition to experience cumulative possibility development. Do that, you can entice these people, sometimes developing lower middle income country, can entice them with gifts and other things that will entice them to actually come on board so that during holidays, visit these homes, impact to them dominant entrepreneurial idea that will help them ignite entrepreneurial ability, impact to them developmental policies that dominated the world from 18th century to date, the ideas that will help them put themselves up, impact to them the ways they can help deal with the issue of climate change, as done by a woman called Avan Newm Chupsky, an American professor and a public intellectual, political and social activist over the period, when it is to what it means to achieve. Number two, what way can we invent our society with permeating radical knowledge, contribute towards development of pedagogy. Pedagogy is a teaching approach, the more productive, effective teaching approach that enhance knowledge and learning. Contribute towards the development of more effective pedagogy and educational curricula that will help enhance the efficiency of the minds of children to make them generational thinkers, as done by a man called Pablo Rocles Neves Ferreira, and a Brazilian educator and philosopher who have contributed towards development of critical pedagogy that have helped when it comes to in the area of teaching socialism, in the age of crime, dealing with social reforms that build people up, that enhance people's moral and enhance the area of knowledge building and capacity building sustainable and smart cities. we can also contribute in that aspect when it comes to that area. Number 3, you can also achieve that by you have to contribute towards the development of effective parental approaches that will help to produce a graduals or have a graduals of very magnetic effect when it comes to parenting. Can you bring up a new parenting approach, effective parenting approach that will help train up children that can become global influential thinkers, global competitive thinkers for this generation and the generation beyond? What are some of the parenting approaches you can introduce the world with your knowledge over the period to achieve that? In the area of development of children, that will make these children transcendental, global impactfulness and impeccability. Wrap your mind around it. What are the new parenting approaches you can introduce to the world? What are some of the introduced you can help so that we can train these children to make them global, transcendental impactfulness when it comes to their achievement over the periods done by a woman called Diana Lumbeck Bonner, who was development psychologist who introduced effective parenting styles over the period that helped enhance that. You also have a role to play in your community, in a global world. What contribution can you make when it comes to that in helping towards developing a more effective parental approaches to help use your knowledge you have obtained, the competitive permeating knowledge to help achieve that. Number 4, examine how you can help collapsing business or collapse business in your community to revive them. How do you revive them? How can you help them? With your knowledge on business management and knowledge, your knowledge on business management and business models, what can you impact into these business in your community, in your country that are collapsed or that have collapsed, to revive them to get to achieve what they ought to achieve, to reach the pinnacle, to reach the nirvana or reach the zenith when it comes to being productive. A man called a very inimitable person like Marcel Heyman Tellas, a Brazilian investor and a businessman over the period, who have contributed models and ideas towards reviving business in Brazil, in other areas, in Latin America, and all those areas with what he thinks he can achieve towards impacting his radical knowledge, competitive permeating knowledge, towards reviving collapse or collapsing business to help them get back to where they belong to achieve that without proactive resurgence and renaissance, to achieve what they hope to achieve. Number 4, the last point, with your panoramic or panoramic or eclectic knowledge or with your wide knowledge, contribute towards improving effective governance system in the world. Can you contribute towards improving existing governance system and new, or can you introduce a new governance system that help improve governance, especially in developing lower middle income countries, to achieve so that they can live long in productivity and efficiency to help aggrandize the standard of living of a lot of people in this country. As done by a man called Maharara Rikit Shink from Nain, who lived between 1780 to 1839, was the ruler of Shing Empire of the Northern Indian subcontinent. He contributed towards the ruling of that empire, and people also contributed. A good sound governance system, like people like Park Chin-hu in South Korea, when he took over South Korea, introduced a lot of policy called the Miracle on Hanover that attained development of chaebols. Chaebols are family business in Korea. Samsung, Hyundai, LG over the period, and build them. So find out with your knowledge, with the competitive radical knowledge, and find out what are some of the, with your panoramic, find out some of the effective governance system you can introduce for the global world, whether you can improve the existing one or introduce new one that can help build the world as it to be. I want to remind you, I'm Bismarck. Say, go to my YouTube channel. Nothing can stop you. Have a lot of motivation message. Watch them, subscribe to them. I'm counting on you to get more subscribers and views. I know you help me. So I have a lot of channel. Your marriage, you'll be a state of mind to world. A lot of teachings on dating and courtship and marriage. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. I have a lot of ebooks. I'm not getting the sales. I know you guys help me get the sales of these ebooks. I have a lot of them. Go to Amazon, Kindle, and Gumroad. They are very cheap, $4, $5. Putting a competitiveness, the credit panel, $4. To be impossible to have this world without you, $4. Your marriage will be a state of mind to world, $5. There is something inside you the world is in need of. Leaders of generational thinkers, $5. Always remember, go to Amazon, Kindle, and Gumroad and get the. Always remember to obtain competitive, penetrating knowledge that will help reinvent the society to achieve, to reach the pinnacle possible development, community possible development, to help train children who are transcendental in impactfulness and with that level of impeccability, making them global influential thinkers, competitive and sustainable thinkers over the period. Thank you for your time. See you next another time. Bye bye.